All right, guys, we got some more interesting information coming out. This guy here, Harry Asianis, looks like he's been interviewed by Tucker. He is a director of defense studies at the Center for National Interest and a executive education of TNI. He says, this is what he says. Let's go ahead and look at his recent post. People are quoting him right now. He says, I doubt North Korea tests an ICBM. A long way to go before they can do a full up test. This is a intercontinental ballistic missile. But he says a nuclear test tonight feels very likely. And so what I guess he's been telling people is that he believes they're going to do something tonight in the next few hours, East Coast time. So people are talking a lot about his statements. So here we go over here. This is Reuters. Trump calls for new UN sanctions against North Korea. It says President Donald Trump said on Monday that the UN Security Council must be prepared to impose new sanctions on North Korea as concerns mount that it may test a sixth nuclear bomb as early as Tuesday. That would be tomorrow, guys. The status quo in North Korea is unacceptable, Trump told a meeting of 15 UN Security Council ambassadors, including China and Russia, at the White House. The Council must be prepared to impose additional and stronger sanctions on North Korea nuclear and ballistic missile programs. This is a real threat to the world, whether we want to talk about it or not. North Korea is a big world problem, and it's a problem that we have to finally solve, he said. People put blindfolds on for decades now, and it's time to solve the problem. So U.S. officials have told Reuters tougher sanctions could include an oil embargo, banning North Korea's airline, intercepting cargo ships, and punishing Chinese banks and other foreign doing business with Pyongyang. Other foreign banks or whatever, I guess, huh? Well, that's interesting info. Now, some more over here. I'll put all the links, by the way, below in the more info under the video itself. Another article from the Examiner. The Senate headed to White House Wednesday for North Korea briefing. This is that secret briefing, or that closed-door briefing, I should say, that's going to be taking place on Wednesday. It says the entire U.S. Senate has been invited to the White House on Wednesday to hear the Trump administration about its plans to handle North Korea's growing military aggression. A Senate leadership aide confirmed the briefing, which will be conducted by Secretary of State Rex Tillerson and Secretary of Defense Jim Mattis, among other top officials. A similar briefing is in the work for House lawmakers, although it's not clear when it would take place. Tensions have increased in the region due to North Korea's missile testing and threats. On Sunday, North Korea threatened to sink the USS Carl Vinson, which was diverted to the region in a show of force. All right, this is the Mirror. It says North Korea could carry out fresh nuclear tests tonight, claims a U.S. think tank. It says as tensions between the U.S. and North Korea deepen, a Washington think tank official says sources in the South Korean government feel the latest nuclear test is just hours from being launched. Now, that's talking about tonight. They're saying Eastern Standard Time that we could be seeing a launch. Now, I'll put the link for this article also below in the description. You can go back and check it out yourself. But they're talking about sometime Eastern Standard Time in the next few hours that they could be actually detonating a nuclear test. And most likely that would be underground. It would be an underground test. Now, we'll be able to determine that if there is an earthquake that's registered on the Richter scale, as well as the planes that we have that are nuclear sniffers. They can basically detect if there's been some kind of nuclear detonations. Well, we'll put the links down there below. Make sure you subscribe, share this video on your social networks, and thumbs it up. God bless.